So this is the review of the final book, Harpist in the Wind by Patricia A. McKillop. It is the third installment of A Riddle Master of Head, and you have whatever, Hair of Sea and Fire, and then Harpist in the Wind. And what a unbelievably awesome, fun, just incredible series. Incredible end to the series. I I love how I love how she writes characters. I love how she just is so descriptive in the environments, just everything. It gives you a very good picture of where these characters are going, um, their motives. One thing you feel the emotion that the characters feel. I felt, at least I felt the emotion. I felt the utter confusion of what the hell is going on, just like our main character Morgan experienced throughout the entire time. Just why is he um thrust into this? What is going on? And the twist, the twist at the end, I I love this series. I love this series. I love it. I love this series. It's so much fun. Um I love how she writes her female characters. Okay, Raiderly. I like Raiderly a little better, but the female protagonist. Well, you got Morgan, the male protagonist, and then Raiderly. They're um basically a thing, right? So the third book takes off right where the second one left off. They were in um the country of Anne or whatever. I gotta look it up. The Yeah, and they were in the capital of Annuin, um, and I love how Raiderly is just she's just such a great character, and Morgan being like he's being hunted down by the wizard Ohm, and he's trying to protect his kingdom of hell, so he's gonna take the dead and sail them across to his or head. I'm sorry, hell. What saw hell there, but head. I didn't realize hell was like in its own country. But anyways, he's gonna take like 7 ships over, and Raiderly. That's how I'm gonna say her name. I could be saying it wrong. I just think it flows off the tongue. Raiderly, Raiderly, whatever. It's such a stupid. Why would she name something so cool? Anyways, I love just in the very beginning. There is a scene where they're at like the port, and so the first book took place of Morgan going from north to south or south to north trying to figure out answers, ends up getting caught and tortured for over a year, mentally tortured for over a year as Owen probed his brain. Second book takes place of Raiderly, who was promised to be the bride of whoever won the crown, which was Morgan. Going from south to north, as kind of following the very similar path of trying to figure out what happened to Morgan, where he's at. Did he die? Did he not die? What's going on? Well, they ended up finally reuniting in her kingdom. What might have been a little bit before her kingdom, but yeah, before their king, she met up with him in like K third or something like that. But they had to he for whatever reason he had something else to do. They ended up meeting up in Anuin, her home kingdom, capital, castle, whatever. After just a very tumultuous, a lot going on, a lot of character development, her fighting her inner demons and whatever. Anyways, so now that they're together again, she's not wanting to separate. Like she just crossed the entire world, country, continent, world, whatever, to find him, and she's not wanting to separate. Well, he doesn't want to get her involved in harm, so he's wanting to leave her behind in safety. And I just love that whole dynamic. And there's like one scene where at the port and she's like, um, you know, not taking no for, she's not taking no for an answer. Like she's just straight up, no, I'm not leaving. No. And ends up, he thinks he won. So he disembarks on the ship and she's there. And she said, no, I'm not. Her stubbornness is on par with his stubbornness, his people are known for their stubbornness, and she just fights back right there with him. And I love that she's not willing to give up, to leave his side through thick and thin. And she has some other convictions later on. Um, but let me just go back to the beginning, and it's such a moment when they finally like connect at Anuan, and just this relationship blossoms, and it's like, oh my god, this is so good. Finally, this is just I love it. I love this. I love this book. I love this series. I love these characters. I love everything about I have no complaints. So on their journey, he gets to head. She meets his family. Big reunion. That was cut short because Morgan's getting hunted down. I think he's getting hunted. Yeah, at this point he's getting hunted. So then they go on this. They meet some other people. Go find some other answers at they stop by the wizard school or what the wizard, yeah, the college or whatever of Riddle, and they're on their way to an ancient school, or the first wizard place, which is I can't. It's not Erland Star. It's like the exact opposite of where that one was at. Osterland? No, is it not up here? Isig, Ungold, Lungold. I didn't realize Lungold was way over here. Wow, so they really do kind of like do a huge runaround. They go to Osterland, which is here's the map I'm looking at. I need to like so that's Erling Star, which was in the very beginning. Lungold, I think, is where the first like Omlish, whatever the wizard's name is, he first discovered that city there. I think they went way up to Osterland, which is where the wolf is at, right up here. And then Herun, which is where the Morgul woman is at. So they just kind of do different style. Isig is where the mountain and the dead children of the mountain or whatever are. So, anyways, they're on their way to Lungold, and the entire way there, she we find out. Well, we might have found out last time. No, we knew this, but she's like grappling with power akin to what Morgan is grappling with. She has her own destiny. She is um there's the world, for whatever reason, long time ago battled these earth masters, these sea people. I'm just gonna call them sea people. I can't remember exactly, but these shape-shifting sea creatures or whatever of the sea. They smell of the sea. And so this war has been brooding forever. Well, it's been a week since I've read it. That's why I read, because my memory is awful. But the main what the hell is the dude's name? The man they're trying to get answers. Not the Star Bearer. Lee. The main dude they're trying to get answers from, that's up in Erland Star, who's not there anymore. God dang it. I don't remember what his name is. I mean, I remember what his name is now, but I don't remember what they've called him up until this point. The wise one? No, that's not it. Whatever his name is. They're all trying to get answers from this one dude. And anyways, so he's been this wise one. I'm just gonna call him basically God. Has been like holding off with his powers the invasion of these people for thousands of years. So she's kind of like Radalee is kind of like on grappling with this power that is against Morgan. Like we know it as, well, she knows it as like if she comes into this power, is she going to um go against when she loves? She's gonna go against Morgan. And it's she's so on the road to Lungold. I love it. She just like she he can fly, he can shapeshift. Her ancestor, her father can shapeshift into a crow. That's like what he's known for, right? And so she's like grappling with this. She gets a taste of this power. Will she want to own this power, become someone she's not, that she doesn't know anymore? And will she go against Morgan? So the whole journey into this, like I can't even remember how many chapters it was. Is this them on the road to Lungold to get to this ancient kingdom to defend this kingdom against Oswald, Ohm, and a bunch of the sea creatures and whoever else is going to go destroy it and protect the wizards that were awakened. But and the entire time on the way here, she's like not wanting to shapeshift, not wanting to come into their powers, putting them in danger, knowing Morgan is just can easily get there in a couple of days, but she doesn't want to do it. She just wants to walk or ride the horses. The horses get stolen. She's wanting to walk now. She can't walk because her feet are bloody and everything. They end up getting jumped. Their horse, a little bit out of order here, but their horses get taken by a group of raider bandits or whatever that are going to sell them to an army that needs them. And I love it. It's just these several chapters of just like realistically, she doesn't want to come into her power, so this is their situation. It's a hard trek. It's dusty, dirty, and that is beat into you. That it's dusty, dirty, hot, awful, and there's some things that happen along the way of this trail, of this journey, but it's long, it's hot, they're thousands of miles away, and she is just not doing she's not gonna make it any easier because she doesn't want to lose herself to this power that she doesn't know about anything about. And I love it. I love like it just makes it so much fun. And I'm always a fan of any type of show where or book where you get a sense of the journey. You get a sense of how long and arduous it is, and you get there's just such little special moments in taking the long way and taking the the hard way instead of like fast traveling there or flying there or whatever have you. It's just I've always there's bonding moments, there's moments of anguish or just all these little character building moments that happen, throughout the way, and just how they had moments of silence because Morgan was straight mad that she wouldn't come to reason, and she was mad that he wouldn't listen to her, and I love it. Um, I'm gonna try to make this under 20 minutes here. So they finally get the Lone Gold. He f- he's he gets to the old wizards. Um, comes to find out, I'm just gonna like fast travel to some of the important moments here. I'm gonna travel fast here. To what of the moments are the twist where finally, after seeing the wizard, the harpist death that he traveled with so long on the path to Lungold die, he was beside himself. He did know, like, it really hurt him because death kind of drew him to him the whole time, and he didn't know why. He meets another wizard called, oh god, this is gonna kill me. Jeth. Oh, I gotta look on the index because I don't remember what his name is. Um, Starts with a J or I think it's a J. I'm almost certain it's in here. Literally, Luth. It's not in here. So there's an old wizard who can also turn into a crow. Can't remember what he did in the past, like what he did before you find out who he actually is, but what he did, um, he was a harpist. He's the one who made the harp for who made the harp with the stars on it in Isig. And s- Morgan and Raiderly connect back with him, and he kind of goes on their journey. And lo and behold, Raiderly suspects, and I love how she's the one who brings the idea to Morgan, is just to show like she's a strong character, just on par with Morgan in terms of strength. Even though he's known to master riddles, she is, she's of her own, just as imperative to this story. And she brings to him that this character, weirdly enough, might be Death, the other the other harpist who died. And so they start suspecting it, but no matter what Morgan thinks, he is drawn to this character. And even if it is him, he is powerless. He's just flying on the coattails of Luth, and he can't do anything about it. He's just going to they've decided they're going to wait for him to name himself to figure, they're not going to push him. And, but no, but the whole time, like going to He Run right before the pivotal event, to the whole time after he gets to Luth or Isig, I'm sorry, I'm going back in time. I'm terrible at this, but Morgan decides, in order to get power, in order to compete with Ohm, in order to fend off the Sea Raiders, he's got to get power from each capital. So now we're going back to all the other countries again. But he's got to get like the land, learn the ways of the land, and gather power that way. And I just love, again, you get a sense of the journey because they journey to each area, and the whole time I think Raiderly finally accepts to turn into a crow. So now they fly to each one, but it's not easy. They take breaks. They set up camp. They get to, they sit on a branch and weather the storm. It's just these little moments that builds character, and you slowly learn that Morgan, they learn to trust Luth, even though they know who he is. And these moments where, like, they're going to He Run and Luth turns into an eagle or a crow, uh, a hawk, and is flying. And Morgan, thinking it's Raiderly, wants to catch up. He's competing, and lo and behold, it's Luth, but he can't lose. He doesn't want to lose to him. And it's just like this bonding moment, not father son moment, but just this mentor moment where he just wants to be accepted by him, but wants to show that he's gaining power, that he's not, I don't know, that he can he's acceptable in Luth's eyes to him, I guess. Just this moment that, uh, um, just a great moment, and I love it. Well, they get to He Run, Morgul, who was in love with Death, even though he was a traitor, Morgan defends Death to Morgan by saying, "Listen, he gave his life for you, and he loved you very much." And then come to find out, and then Luth can no longer take it and says, "Listen, I am Death. I've worn a different face. I love you guys." By playing a harp song that only the Morgul would know, and then he flees, and then it's just this moment of like overwhelming emotion to Morgan that he can't leave Death. He can't leave him alone. He's on this journey with them. Goes and finds out, this wise one has been missing forever. He's the one who basically controls all the land, keeping these sea monsters at bay. He goes to the tower that was referenced in the first book. Come to find out, Death is there, but Death is the wise one, and he's been training Morgan the whole time. He put Morgan in all these situations to help him gain power, to help see who he was, or else he wouldn't have answered these questions or even tried to find these questions out. So this whole time, it's making me emotional. This whole time, there was a plan, and Death even said, "I wish it didn't happen to someone I loved." but it had to be you. You were the one, and it's just this unbelievably powerful moment. I I love it. So by taking the power, um, I guess Death, the wise one, whatever his name, whatever, ends up vanishing. He passes the power on to Morgan. Morgan um, defeats, harnesses the power of the winds. Yes, the 12 winds. What a power, man! I want to see. I want to. I want a book that just goes back to 2,000 years when Death. I'm gonna call him Death. Learned to harness the winds because F yes, that was just so awesome. How he can take the winds from different areas and just carve out vast swaths of people, carve out mountains, carve out. Li- the winds can go by and they can listen to people. They can listen to conversations. He always knows what's going on because of the winds. He can listen to the winds and knows. He can direct the winds. He can bring about winter. He can bring about rain. Whatever he can do. He's just a god. Well, Morgan can't quite handle these in the beginning, but he does. He comes into his own. He handles them, and then disappears for a while, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, the ending. What does happens at the end? Why do I not remember quite the ending? I just remember them. He wins the. He wins the. He wins the war at the end, and I think he's in more. He's just remorseful that of what's happened, of all the death that's happened. So I think he goes and turns into a tree for a while. Or no, he turns into like half wind, half rock or something. Whatever happens, he goes off. Long story short, the very end, he comes back to Head, finds, was it Head? Whatever. Finds Raiderly there. It's a happy ending and it's just magical. I love it. I freaking love this book. What was the very ending? The silent he's felt something he's never felt before in over 2 years. Peace, tremulous, unexpected, sent a taproot out of nowhere into Morgan's heart, and that's just they're finally at peace after years of warring. He is an omniscient god. Everything I have to talk. That's so true. That's Raiderly saying, "If you know everything, what will we have to talk about?" I don't know. I suppose nothing. And they go about learning ins and outs of their relationship and how I think she went to the sea. Is that what happened? She disappeared too to go to the sea for a while, found his crown, and it's just good book. Unbelievable book. Unbelievable book. Unbelievable series. I'm gonna do a picture one more so you can see the title. Just Harpist in the Wind. That's Death right before he dies. His hands are all mangled and he can barely play the harp. There's Morgan. Like Morgan, he looks a little better in that one than he does in the. That's Hot Raiderly. Kind of how, yeah, she's kind of uppity. It's just so much fun on that journey because she's like, she is. She comes from money, she's a princess. And it's just, they're rough. It's rough. They're roughing it out, killing rabbits and eating what, they constantly question what do they eat. She questions, I don't want to know what I eat when I'm a crow. Worms and just junk food, or whatever they're eating. Stuff. So great series. Um, so far between Fantastic, The Forgotten Beasts of Eld, which is another book she's written, and this, it's 2 for 2. Well, um, 4 for 4 if you count all three of them. But I've not read a book that I have not absolutely loved. Like this is up there with some of my favorite fantasy of all time. Um, just, just so good, so good. Highly recommend it. I'm sure I'll be give it some time, and I'll be rereading it because especially after knowing how the end is, will be great to reread it in the beginning, but honestly, I'd love to forget about it and then just go through and get that twist again. Wow, what an emotional just packs a punch. It was all both journeys were it was all worth it. Everything. Even though I loved every minute of these books. Ending the last book was just it just comes into a freaking whirlwind. It just there's so much going on. And then there's sometimes there's not, but there is, but it's just all these little moments build up to this one impactful moment. And it was beautiful. Beautiful book. That's it. I'm done. Go read it.